What's for dinner? Hey everyone, I'm Chef Z and welcome back to my channel, Chef Z Cooks. Today we're going to be making arepa de maíz, and this dish is also known as Torta Dominicana. Now, regardless of what you call this dish, this is a very, and I mean very yummy recipe. It's actually one of my favorites. Now, if you've never had arepa de maíz, it's essentially a Dominican style version of cornbread and corn pudding put together. Now, there's also a bunch of different ways of making this classic Dominican dish. By the way, it's on the sweeter side, so those of you with the sweet tooth will really appreciate it. Now, like I said, there's so many different ways of making it, and like always, I'll be sharing my grandmother's recipe. Let's go ahead and get started. Making arepa de maíz is super easy. This dish also comes together super quickly. So first things first, you want to make sure to butter your baking dish fairly generous, and trust me, you definitely don't want to skip this step. Afterwards, we're actually going to combine all of our dry ingredients. So we're going to add the fine cornmeal. We're also going to add the sugar. And by the way, you can make this as sweet as you want. And we're also going to add a pinch of salt, which is going to help balance everything out. We're now going to mix everything until it's well combined. Next, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our different milks. So we're going to add some coconut milk, and we're also going to add some evaporated milk, followed by some vanilla extract, and we're going to mix that all together until it's well combined. Keep in mind that you can use a variety of different milks. So if you're not a fan of coconut milk, feel free to either use more evaporated milk or you can use regular milk instead. So once we've mixed everything, you have the options of actually adding raisins to this dish, and that's how it's traditionally done, but I'm not a huge fan of raisins when it comes to arepa de maíz, so I go ahead and skip it for this dish. We're now going to go ahead and we're going to add some unsalted butter, and we're also going to add 3 cinnamon sticks. And next, we're going to set our flame setting to about medium low because you definitely don't want to burn the arepa de maíz in the next few steps. We're now going to mix it, and it's very important that you continuously mix your arepa mixture because just like in my farina video, if you don't mix it constantly, you run the risk of lumps forming, and that's something that you definitely want to avoid. Now, after about 3 to 5 minutes, you're going to notice that your arepa mixture is going to thicken, and this is when you want to move super fast. Now remember, we did add some cinnamon sticks, so we want to go ahead and fish them out as quickly as possible because this arepa mixture is only going to keep thickening as the minutes go by. So once you've taken out all of the cinnamon sticks, we're now going to mix it very gently, just like we did before, just to make sure that everything is super nice and smooth. And once everything is smooth, we're going to go ahead and now we're going to add it into our buttered baking dish, which is why I said that you don't want to skip this step because everything comes together super quickly. And once you've added your arepa mixture into your baking dish, you just want to go ahead and very carefully just smooth out that very top layer because you want to make it as pretty and as presentable as possible. So once you finish smoothing out the very top, you're going to go ahead and you're going to bake your arepa de maíz in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 to 40 minutes. And keep in mind that you can totally eyeball this. All you're looking for is for the very top to get really nice and golden, just like you see here. Once your arepa is done, you want to take it out and let it rest on top of the stove for at least an hour. You want to let it rest before cutting into it. Now, one of my favorite ways of having arepa de maíz is with a nice hot cup of coffee in the morning. So there you guys have it, my recipe for some arepa de maíz, also known as arepa dulce or torta dominicana. Comment down below if you have any questions, and until next time, I'm Chef Z y buen provecho. Alright guys, here are some quick tips to making sure that you perfect this arepa de maíz each and every single time. First things first, make sure that you are making the arepa on medium to low flame just to make sure that that sugar and the milk and the cornmeal doesn't burn in the process. And then once it's done, once it's gotten that beautiful thickness, make sure that you move very quickly. So with that being said, you definitely want to have whatever you're baking it in already buttered. Now, I also recommend that you guys have a ton of fun when it comes to baking your arepa. You can use a mini bundt dish, just like I have here. It's my personal favorite and when I make the arepa, and it's kind of like my Chef Z signature. And my family members know that I made the arepa when it's in this shape. But if you are a little bit more of a traditionalist and you want to keep it super simple, feel free to use a dish like this, which is just your simple circle dish. Or if you like your arepa on the super thick side, go ahead and use a loaf tin, or you can even use a little mini round spring form dish just like I have right here. And I'll link this down below in case you're interested in any one of these dishes. Now, I will also say that it's totally optional. You can use some coconut milk whenever you're making arepa, and you can also add chunks of coconut. And if you're not crazy about the raisins, then you already know, feel free to omit the raisins. And last but not least, you can also make the arepa as sweet as you like it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that bell so that you're notified each and every single time I post an all new video. And if you're looking on what to make for dinner next, feel free to click right here.